Okay, welcome back to the null space. I'm going to continue to try and find my inventive direction. And right now I feel a little lost in trying to find something to invent. And I think that's natural right now in the beginning stages. But I think one of the things that'll help me is to kind of systemize my methods a little bit and find this kind of rhythm in dumping my ideas and figuring out what to do with my ideas once I have them and where they're going to go, and trying to find a sort of method so that when I have my ideas, they can go to a specific place. So thinking about the process thus far, I'm trying to look for inspiration and look for a specific action plan. And I found two skills that I think will help me in the inventive process and in this whole process of ideation in general. And that's illustrated journaling and industrial design drawing. And illustrative journaling is essentially you're just basically you have a documentation source, and whenever you're going on a journey or a trip or you just have a lot of thoughts in your head, this is a place where you can just dump your ideas and document everything that you're thinking about and just basically document your life. But you draw these things, right? You don't just write. It's not just a journal. It's you actually draw stuff out and basically let your mind wander and just keep providing, just keep trying to fill sketchbooks and keep trying to just dump your ideas. To me, illustrative journaling isn't so much about creating ideas, but it's more about just dumping everything that I have so that I can have more headspace so that I can continue on to think about the ideas that I want to think about. Now, obviously, I'm going to think about invention ideas, and I'm gonna have crazy and random ideas and draw out what inspires me. But it's still more about right now creating some headspace. I think thus far two of my favorite illustrative journaling YouTube channels are Proco and Sketchbook School. And Sketchbook School is probably the one that actually introduced me to illustrative journaling, but Proco is also a nice one. And I think one of my favorite videos is How to Fill a Sketchbook by Peter Hahn. He goes through some of his sketchbooks and where he gets his inspiration, and through observation or things that he's just thinking about, or just like this evolution of these thoughts that he's had, and he's put them together. And I think it's a fascinating little video. I think you should definitely watch it. But Sketchbook School is probably like my number one at this point. So that's illustrated journaling. Industrial design drawing, I'm trying to learn how to draw products and learn how to draw them with detail and bring my ideas to life. I have so many ideas that I've tried to draw out, and it just doesn't work. It's not going to be efficient in terms of communicating it to somebody else. I want to be able to put them in color and do them to scale, and that's just a personal thing for me. I'm pretty sure obviously drawing out your inventions will help any inventor, but I want to draw them in a specific way that really brings them to life and that I can actually communicate with other experts and just be proud of the drawings that I have and the schematics, and I'm trying not to get I'm trying not to become a perfectionist about this, but it does inspire me to draw out my products and make them look presentable and have fun with creating the detail. So industrial design drawing and the illustrative journaling, I think it's going to definitely help me in many ways. All of the books that I'm reading about the inventive process has basically told me that I need to get a notebook. It's a necessity at this point, and it's going to be a necessity throughout my entire life. And the system of putting your ideas down on paper has to be gold. I feel like there's so many benefits for me in developing my inventive skill with industrial design and illustrative journaling. So first, it's my number one external memory source. And I don't know how many times I've had ideas that have been completely lost due to the fact that, one, just memory, or just having that idea when I was tired, and then of course, you don't develop them well when you're tired, and then you forget them, or there's distractions, external distractions, internal distractions, or there's just priorities, and you have to do something. You have to do something with life first, and then you try to get back to your invention idea, and you just don't you don't know where they are, or just you just lose them. Like you've written them down, and you've lost that sheet of paper, and you want to go back to it to continue to add the detail and like continue to develop the idea. So 2 is documentation source. Right now there is no clear systematic way of how I put things down on paper, and I don't like that. I feel a little bit scattered, but I'm combating that with 2 of my biggest weapons, is this and this. And I carry these everywhere I go, and I've probably filled 1, 2 really, but this one's about half, and I got another one that's about half. But I just carry these around and just constantly think about and observe my surroundings and how they relate to what I could possibly invent. Also related to this documentation process is I want to have all my ideas on one specific notebook. And I know I have these little ones right here, but having these is still good, because you start off with these and then you go on to the bigger notebooks that I'll show you in a second. So number 3, you want to get the flow of ideas. So I want them to go from here, then to these little notebooks, and then finally to these big notebooks where I can kind of flesh them out and really go through the idea and see if it's worth my time or whatever, or just play around with it. Like, even if I know it's not going to be able to be, like, there's no feasible way that I can invent it, like I could still draw it out and then have fun and play around with it. Right now it's kind of hard to tell whether one thing is important, like one piece of information is important or not. And that's just kind of like the inventing process. I'm learning that I have to just kind of explore certain ideas, even if they don't lead to any per se good invention idea. The skill of going through that exploration is also very valuable. So the flow of ideas is from here to here, and then here, and then maybe just keep going and having that headspace, like having that constant flow. And I think the more I do that, the faster that process will happen, like the easier it'll get. And a really good goal of mine is this year to fill just like one part of a bookshelf full of just drawings and notes and stuff. So benefit number 4 is I think it'll strengthen my observation skills. It'll really help me like develop that skill and see things as how they are, and then kind of like judge them and evaluate them and how they could be. Obviously, I've talked a little bit about observation skills. It probably my first video, I said how it was an essential skill for an inventor. I think the journaling really gives you a sense of mindfulness, but illustrative journaling gives you a sense of observational mindfulness. So I think it'll go a long way into helping me through this process. So my 5th benefit is it helps me learn better. So like based on the psychology of learning, using your motor skills to draw things, and like your sense of depth perception, and then learning a new skill and like bringing your observation skills, and then trying to learn how to see things in detail. Like all of these things like add neural circuitry to like whatever it is that you're doing. And the more neural circuitry you can have for a specific memory or specific experience, like the more the learning will be deeper, and your memories will be strengthened. I don't want to just have all these like invention ideas in my head and all of these associations. I want to actually put them down and like really flesh them out and look at them and have pictures to go with these things. And then the act of drawing them out really ingrains the idea far better than just like really writing them down a few sentences about how this idea is great or not. There's so many YouTube creators that I watch that are teaching me industrial design. Among them are Robert Laszlo Kiss or Chroma Moma, product design maker, Adam Basinski. Like there's all of these creators. I thank them because like without them, like it'll be a way harder climb to just draw basic products. But one of them recommended this book, How to Draw by Scott Robertson, and it's an amazing book. It starts off pretty simple about just teaching you how to draw circles and ellipses, and then it gets kind of complicated. But the depth perception, like drawing in perspective. But I just want to be able to draw like just basic, basic things like, just, here's another one. Like I know this one is a lot, it's too much and it's way beyond me, but I think it's still pretty cool. I don't know if you can see that. And then this is good. It shows you like a blow-up version, an exploded view, as they say, of all of the different mechanisms that are for this actual. This is an actual invention that they're thinking and constructing. But yeah, I just want to give some depth to the things that I draw, and be able to communicate. Like my goal this year is to just get to something like this. Just a brief sketch, and just a brief sketch, and just see how there's like notes on the side, and maybe there's a scale. That's just really my goal is to get to that. But some of these drawings are just purely amazing. Like it's unbelievable. Like to be able to draw. I mean, look at stuff like this. Look at that. I mean, look at stuff like that. Like just to be able to draw. I mean, some of these pictures are just like amazing. Just to be able to put your ideas down on paper, and play with them, and have to put some detail into them. Like that's really all I want. It's just nothing basic. And then of course I got this illustrative guide to drawing. It just shows you how to draw like basic products and how to construct them from start to finish. So I've started this sketchbook, and it's dedicated just to inventions and the whole invention process. And as you can see, my invention journal, it's got a few light bulbs. I learned how to draw light bulbs. But yeah, just like, just documenting the journey, like, the opportunities you can have with this whole invention thing. This is a schematic that I drew. And yeah, just here's some jellyfish. I was looking at drones and trying to get inspiration for how to make different propulsion systems, and I got into some National Geographic like ocean documentary about jellyfish and how they move through their mediums. So it's like just documenting anything and just like letting my mind wander wherever it goes, and not being judgmental, just letting it wander. It's like that, just letting it do its thing, not trying to force it into any sort of idea, and just trying to live with that flow state, and getting my ideas from my head to this to that. So, and then finally, I have this entire stack right here of ideas, of things that I've, invention ideas, but they're all scattered, and a lot of them are not really like designed well. There's like some, ambiguity as to what I was thinking about. And I think for the next week, I'm going to take all of these and try to put them in the sketchbook, and really get in the habit of just putting everything in this one thing here. So that's the goal for the next like week and a half. So thank you for watching.